cannot scale on an undernourished nervous system. If the business you built to create freedom now feels like it's costing you your body, your peace, and your joy, it's time to rebuild your success from your nervous system up. Welcome to the Frequency of Yes, the podcast for women leaders creating limitless success, deep empowerment, and divine wealth on their terms. I am your host, Kirstin Carey, and I'm obsessed with helping badass women feel good in their bodies so they can sustain wildly successful businesses without grinding or sacrificing themselves. In today's episode, we're talking about how to become resourced AF and what you need to be a fully nourished CEO. With more than 33 years as an entrepreneur and working with hundreds of women, mentoring them to restore their health from hormone imbalance, autoimmune, and other debilitating symptoms, I found that there are specific behaviors and choices that set successful badass business women apart from everyone else. So in this episode, I'm going to cover a detailed 3-point checklist that's going to allow you to see where you may be falling short on the resources that you need to vibrate at your highest frequency and hit the level of wild and sustainable success that you know you're capable of without sacrificing yourself in the process. But before I get to that, I just want to be super clear about something. Women business owners are simply built differently, which also means we typically need to be supported differently than most other women. And we 100% need to be supported differently than men. We're not just female men. We shouldn't just copy what they've done. Though we have proven that we can absolutely force masculine strategies to work for us and look good on paper. But at some point, that approach will boomerang and create side effects that will ooze out into our personal lives, into our health, and into our ability to build a strong team that supports sustainable, reliable business success. And I know the way that hyperexhaustion feels after you've worked a month straight, being the first one in and the last one out because you think you need to prove to your employees that you're a great boss and not above doing any of their jobs. I remember my eyes burning and my bones aching. And even though I was utterly exhausted, I couldn't sleep because my brain would get stuck in this loop. Because even though I had checked everything, I was still worried I had forgotten something. And that level of exhaustion leaves you hollow, even though you may look successful on the outside. But inside, you feel like you're being eaten alive. Properly resourced women don't feel bone tired. A properly resourced woman feels radiant, healthy, and unstoppable. And at the end of the day, she's tired, but she's also able to fall asleep into restful sleep at a reasonable hour. And she leads her business with confidence and trusts her body's somatic intelligence to let her know if she's pushing too much and when she can push more. And her business funds her lifestyle. It employs others and it changes the world for the better while also feeding her soul. And yes, she is in it because she has a mission to help others with her product or service. And she also knows it's going to make a difference in the lives of her customers and her clients. But she isn't in it for the money. She's in it to fund her freedom. She doesn't want to just see numbers in her bank account. She unapologetically wants to make the money so that she can enjoy the luxuries that money provides her, while also creating something amazing that she can be proud of. When she's fully resourced, she knows what her body needs to feel magnetic. And she has at least one friend on speed dial who totally gets her, and she can call at 4 a.m., who will also show up with a shovel and ask no questions. And she has a team that completely supports her and that she trusts. And she's learned to sustain her success without having to push or grind or turn herself into a pretzel, doing everything herself, which she once believed was how you were supposed to do it. When you are fully resourced, it means you have everything you need to be resilient, balanced, and regulated because you've learned how to nourish your body, connect with what you truly need, and honor that connection every single day. And if you are currently launching harder than you ever have, but you have fewer enrollments, or less excitement around those enrollments, if your relationships, professional or personal, are unsatisfying, they're turbulent or non-existent, or if you struggle with sleep, pain, hot flashes, irritability, or apathy, or if you are frustrated because you feel like you're doing everything yourself and can't rely on anyone, if you're reaching for sugar, alcohol, carbs, caffeine, or medication, and that includes replacement hormones, ladies, and I know that's going to horribly trigger some of you, but it needs to be said, because even when prescribed, if you're relying on them to override a symptom, that won't help you heal the root cause of the dysregulation. And then they become another crutch, taking you further away from what your body really needs, even when it's hormone imbalance, even in menopause. And if you're reaching for any of these addictive things just to get through the day, it's a red flag. And there's no shame here, only awareness. This is not proof that you're messing up and not strong enough to handle everything. This is an opportunity for you to take a beat and recognize that your body loves you and it's just begging for relief. These are all red flags that you've been so focused on holding everything together that you didn't even notice your body begging for help. And the warning signs of dysregulation and being under-resourced have been screaming at you for months, or more likely it's been years. Being diagnosed with 2 autoimmune conditions in my 30s is what forced me out of corporate coaching and into the world of healing. I became a natural health practitioner. I opened the first 3 100% gluten-free restaurants in Arizona. I had a staff of 28 people supporting my physical locations, the meal plan service, and online coaching programs. So I know all sides of entrepreneurship. And I also know what happens when you force masculine business strategy onto a woman-owned business structure. We are not designed to ignore our body. It's a trauma response to keep pushing and shutting down the body's warning signals that we're under-resourced. And business owners, especially women, are one of the single most superpower level groups to push beyond what our bodies can handle. For women business owners, it becomes a badge of honor to go without sleep and live on coffee and Diet Coke and wine to compensate. And at some point, the body will snap. And I learned that lesson hard. Women are 80% of autoimmune diagnosis, which is the body attacking itself. It's a literal sign that we are ignoring what our body needs. And therefore, it's mistaking the good parts of us as the enemy, which it then tries to destroy. And after years of education and practice in natural health, nervous system regulation, and functional medicine, I reversed both of my autoimmune conditions, and I guided hundreds of other women to do the same. But I had to make adjustments to the behaviors that I once celebrated as strong and impressive because they were hurting me. And it was just me emulating what I thought you needed to do to reach success, because most of the success stories out there revolve around men pushing beyond their limits and breaking themselves down to grab the golden ring. And that no pain, no gain approach doesn't work for women long term. It doesn't work for long-term sustainable success. We're not meant to conquer our bodies. They aren't the enemy to be beaten into submission. They are trusted friends that we were meant to collaborate with. And after suffering the consequences of that approach to business, I had to learn how to receive help and step into my full feminine power to get my business and my body back, which is not, it's not masculine drive dressed in pink. The default mode for the average woman, especially the average businesswoman, is what I refer to as the fine mode. You know what fine means. Fine is not fine. It means doing things yourself even when you need the help, sacrificing for others when you don't have the bandwidth, and putting on a smile even though you were a glass loaded into the dishwasher the wrong way, away from an epic meltdown. So here's a detailed 3-point checklist that will help you know if you're under-resourced and need a boost in your connection to your somatic response. First, let's look at the physical. Does your body have what it needs? Signs that it doesn't: you're experiencing pain, fatigue, bloating, irritation, frustration. These are all signs that your body isn't getting what it needs. The solution is proper hydration, 7 to 9 hours of truly restorative sleep, and gut balance. And you can't achieve these things no matter how much water you drink or kale salad you eat if your nervous system is dysregulated or on high alert. Tell me this: can you feel the difference between healthy tired because you had a productive day and empty because there's simply nothing left and you're running on fumes? Number 2, let's look at your business. Does your business have the resources and support it needs? Here are some signs that it doesn't. You're having inconsistent revenue. You're working longer hours. You're doing everything yourself. Or you're not getting the joy you once were doing the work you do. The solution? A repeatable strategy that supports your goals, your mission, and your lifestyle. Your business is there to support you, not the other way around. So let me ask you this: when was the last time you exhaled knowing that your systems, strategy, and your team would support your business completely? And number 3 on the checklist, somatic intelligence. So somatic intelligence is that deep knowing that lives in your body. It's your intuition translated through sensation. It's the energetic connection to knowing what is right for you right now that you can feel. Signs that you don't have this or that it's struggling is the inability to make decisions, feeling stuck, feeling like no one understands or like you're alone. And the solution for this? Strengthening your somatic intelligence through processes that enhance parasympathetic response, which is when your body feels safe and therefore it's not defaulting into fight or flight mode. So let me ask you this: do you know the sensation of what it feels like when your body is saying yes or is telling you no? Or has it been such a long time since you've connected like that, you're not even sure what that sensation feels like? It's wild how easy it is to forget that your body has always known what's right for you. You just stopped hearing her whisper. Self-care is this like butt of the joke for many of us. And it's the way that the term is thrown around that I think really messes things up, because it's no doubt why it's often considered to be a nice to have, but not a need to have by most women business owners. Self-care isn't candlelight and cucumber water or some mantras that you repeat in the mirror in the morning. It's remembering what your body sounds like when she's fully resourced. It's feeling that subtle vibration. It's the exhale that melts the shoulders down your back. It's that deep hum in your belly that says, I'm safe now. It's a hum in the core of your soul, like the purr of a luxury car when it's perfectly tuned. And true self-care aren't once in a while experiences like spa days. They're everyday routine experiences that supply you with the raw materials that you need emotionally, energetic, and physically, so that you're fully resourced to be the amazing badass leader that you need to be to run a wildly profitable, sustainable business without running on fumes and sacrificing yourself in the process. Self-care includes, but is not limited to, activities, experiences, and learning that strengthen your somatic intelligence so that you notice the signals and the messages your body sends regularly. It's training your nervous system to default to parasympathetic mode rather than being in fight or flight all the time. And this is when you vibrate in safety as the default, knowing no matter what, you're always going to have exactly what you need. It's your basic needs being fully resourced. You're fully hydrated. You're getting 7 to 9 hours of regular restorative sleep. Your gut microbiome is healthy. If you snorted when I said 7 to 9 hours of restorative sleep, you need to really check yourself here. That's about how long on a regular nightly basis your body needs to relax, detox, replenish, and then restore every single night. Not just sleeping in one day on the weekend and catching up. It's also intentionally surrounding yourself with others who are also fully resourced to help you normalize what it's like to feel seen, like you belong, and to challenge you in all the best ways. And it's one thing to know what your body, business, and energy need. It's another to actually feel what being resourced does inside your system. Like, take a deep breath right now and notice where this conversation is landing in your body, not in your mind, but physically in your body. Tap on your heart space right now. This will pull awareness to your body so you can drop out of your head. It's a quick hack to remind yourself how to connect with your somatic intelligence. Now, as you're tapping, notice what shifts in the body as you imagine waking up in the morning, feeling good physically, knowing exactly what needs to happen in your business that day for sustainable success. And you have a dependable team supporting you to fulfill that mission. When I have systems in place that sustain my business, my body, and my overall success, I feel energized. I can actually feel an openness in my chest and my stomach. And that's when my breath deepens again. And I release that tension in my lower back that's there telling me that I don't feel safe. And that's when my body remembers and my soul breathes with me. And I know I can relax and not check my bank account constantly or worried about having to have another extra launch just to make payroll. And I know in my bones with certainty that the money is there. I also know that my team's going to show up to carry out their individual roles so that the clients get exactly what they need and all the pieces fall into place. And I also feel relevant and important to the process as the leader, but not in a critical to every freaking step in the process kind of way. And that's the moment my mind gets quiet and my somatic response gets louder. It's magical. And most women are much closer to getting their bodies and their business back on track and fully resourced than they realize. And the sustainable success that they crave is 100% in their reach. What I've found is it typically takes a shift that they can't find on their own because it's not a logical solution. It's a somatic body solution that's been hidden or blocked for a long time. And this work, reconnecting women to their sensory brilliance so they can learn to lead from a fully resourced nervous system, this is my superpower. And I have a step-by-step process to help badass women create more sustainable divine wealth by supporting their bodies for long-term success. And if today's episode helped you remember what's possible when you stop pushing and start listening to your body's intelligence and you're ready to receive real support in becoming that fully resourced CEO, book a call with me. The link is in the show notes. We'll explore in this conversation how to bring your business and your body back into coherence so that your success finally feels as brilliant as it looks. And I'm going to leave you with this. The most powerful business strategy you will ever have is a regulated nervous system. Remember to like and subscribe to this podcast. And if you know another amazing badass woman who would benefit by being fully resourced, share this episode with her too. The more women we have resonating at their highest frequency, the easier it will be for all of us to vibrate at that level too. See you next time.